It's really amazing how the brain damage spreads, and this guy really makes it really obvious. Can you imagine these guys? They think they have the truth in them, and they see fake demons and witches like in Salem, and they puke it out. It's out to about almost 1 million people have watched the puke fest of these guys who are doing this, and who knows how many more of those people spread it? Because if you look at the comments, the puke fest believers are responding as if it's actually real as well. It's unbelievable. So why are they like this? Well, Aldous Huxley described it years ago. You should watch an interview with Mike Wallace. Well, here's where you can actually watch him talking to Mike Wallace, and also captured from lectures. So yeah, love your servitude. Huxley told uh, Mike Wallace that in the future the conditioning will be so well orchestrated that the public will be conditioned to actually love their servitude, love their slavery. And you can see what kind of mind would love their servitude. Well, a mind that has lost prefrontal regulation, which is the case for Christians, as I've been showing you. These are worthwhile videos to watch because it shows the damage that being a believer does to the mind without any consideration of discernment. And they always talk about the discernment thing, right? Like Jesus provides us with the discernment. Well, if that's the case, then why are you guys spreading? And when I was checking for the numbers today to see how many people have been lied to by Elijah and Lizard Brain over here, the truth be told dude. This guy's at close to 600,000. He's about 67,000. This guy's about 250,000. And this guy here, this next guy, another guy. Here's another guy. Yeah, another guy. He's got 35,000 views. I mean, can you imagine having this level or this lack of prefrontal cortex regulation while you think you have the truth in you? I mean, this is back to the days of Salem with these fools. But the nice thing is that it's so easily exposed, for us to look at and see. So this is the scene, or the first 25 seconds of the Ruslan dude thing. So here is Decayos, logic, reason, brain, philology, philosophy, operational prefrontal cortex. So of course, without thinking about looking at the history, Ruslan shows up and begins his puking. It's just unbelievable. So what we see here is in green is Danny Jones. So this is Danny Jones, because he plays the video. This is Danny Jones and Hillman. So this is Hillman. So Hillman's going, stop, you're trying to stop, stop. And then Danny Jones jokes about it being an exorcism. And what's going on here is that Hillman is reacting to who? The absolute stupidity of Wes Huff. Wes Huff is an idiot. He thinks Creo is an ointment. Creo is the verb or root, and it just means a surface application. That's all it means. None of these guys know that. It's absolutely unbelievable. So red words are those of the hallucinating brain damaged Christian mind. So here is, you can just go listen to him. Wes Huff causes a professor to manifest the demon, just from what he said on the podcast. Can you imagine that? He's playing around, he's joking, he's play acting about how Wes Huff and this Ruslan, they are possessed by the demon of ignorance. That's the real issue with these guys. These guys are possessed with the demon of ignorance, and they puke it out constantly. Now, there is actually a name of a demon of ignorance. It doesn't exist, of course. The demon of ignorance is named Apasmara in Vedanta or Hinduism. And this is who Shiva is dancing on to stop ignorance from spreading. But these guys are possessed by this demon of ignorance. So look at him. Here's Ruslan again. What you just saw, they're literally caused the host to say, it looks like you're going into an exorcism right now. And he plays, the power of Christ compels you, from the Exorcist from back in the 70s. Now, why are these guys like this? Because they are blind believers. And these Christian morons do not realize that in their book, It's a book. I mean, I don't believe any of it happened actually, but they do, right? So they do. So Jesus said, you must be innocent like children and be pure in heart, and you must be wise as serpents. How can you be wise as serpents if you turn off your prefrontal cortex, which is what Christians do based upon their scapegoating and blind faith mechanisms? So Jesus said to be wise, but Christians are, no, it's better to be an idiot. And that's actually what the Bible says about them, as you'll see in a couple seconds. The Bible itself says that these Christian morons are actually illiterate ignoramuses. Their text tells them that their beliefs reflect the beliefs of illiterate ignoramuses. So one of the things about a guy like this, if you see fake demons and witches, a guy like this, if they ever, because I mean, I've got 1,000 subscribers and I get 500 to 1,000 views, so this doesn't go anywhere. But if I did, see, the reaction would be like, well, this guy's just in Hillman's cult. Well, if that was the case, why would I have done this and put him in the poop hole? I just, hey, why did I do that? If I was in his cult, why would I have put that video up? Yeah, no cult here, dude. This is just pure logic and reason coming your way, which you reject. And one of the worst things that these lying Christians reject and don't understand, they actually believe we come in stained. We don't come in stained, Ruslan. We become stained as you have become stained. This is how we come in. This is research from Yale University looking at 3 to 6 month old infants, and they manifest perfect empathy, 100% selflessness. They can't speak, and here's a little puppy or doggy who causes little baby to cry and then apologized and felt guilty. Neither of them can speak, and neither of them knows who Jesus is. Can you see the difference between the true self as it enters these physical bodies versus the amoral mind, the brain dead, immoral mind that emerges as you go through life lying to yourself and scapegoating? I mean, John Rich says that, listen, I'm trying not to go, on these idiots. So these children and this dog, they naturally manifest the yoke of Jesus. They naturally manifest it. Now, a lot of Lady Babyloners are going to go, what about Mark 14? I get it, that's in the text, but this also is in the text. And this language of Jesus is the exact language that these Christians reject. They're told to become innocent like a child and a puppy, and they refuse. They decide to go out and play Salem witch hunters. Can you imagine this moron? What a friggin' moron, really. God. So they're all morons, and here's why. So I call them morons and put these dunce caps on, right? Well, these 3 idiots accused a man of being demon-possessed for play acting because one of their buddies who they all like, Wes Huff, is an idiot just like them. And these guys put up also, they're not demon-possessed. They just call him a dunce and a moron, and they try to discredit him. Right, so these guys are all morons. And why are they like this? Because the book tells us, this is the amazing thing about this book. Think about this book that no atheist believes in. You should look at this, though. This book is embraced by the people who the book says who would embrace or who would need it. So this is what was taking place in Acts 4:13. You can see here Peter's boldness, bullshitting in front of the priests. Afterward, they think to themselves that they were unschooled, and it was unschooled and ordinary is what you think in the English text, but it's not that. It is agrammatoi, which is illiterate, and then idiotai, which is ignoramus. So isn't that amazing? This book that was allegedly written 2,000 years ago has predicted, prophesized the ignoramuses that would be possessed by it, as Aldous Huxley told Mike Wallace. I mean, that's kind of creepy, man, right? This Bible, maybe we should start looking more seriously at that archaic guy shit, huh? So this is what's going on with Hillman. This is the internet. Look at Danny Jones. Look at DeCaios, Danny Jones having fun with Hillman, kidding around, right? So now notice here, he goes for the text. See, this is the text, and this is the text. So I embrace this text because this text is what these morons reject. And that's why I say, come under the yoke of Jesus. The power of Christ compels you, Ruslan. Come under the yoke of Jesus. The power of Christ compels you, you moron. See, I can use their text against them. You can use their text against them many ways. The fact that they don't follow it at all is, I think, the best way. So here you have a pair of decayos brains having fun doing the decayos thing. And this idiot shows up. So this is the Ruslan thing. I decided to post this, and I'll read it, and because to me it's kind of funny. So Ruslan KD, you went full friggin' retard. Hillman, who actually directed plays, was play acting with Danny Jones because Westhoff is as functionally brain damaged as you. So he was just reacting to the idiocy of all you brain dead people. And because of your functional brain damage and lack of PFC regulation, you actually hallucinated a demon where one does not exist. Researchers have identified how your scapegoat religion creates a functional state of brain damage in the domain of the brain that represents the conscience. Scapegoat Christianity is a religion of brain damage, dude. You're fucking brain damaged, man. Come under the yoke. The power of Christ compels you. You should brutally and deeply embrace Matthew 18:3, right here. No innocent child would ever accuse another of demonic possession. But you did, which means according to your religion, dude, you and all your buddies, according to your religion, are never going to heaven. That should scare the living shit out of you guys since you believe this. It's terrifying. I mean, you guys are crazy. So let's look at what John Rich says. John Rich believes, I did a video on him also. John Rich believes that without Jesus, humans cannot discern truth from lies. He said, we're born sinful and cannot achieve, look at this, cannot achieve righteousness on their own. Well, if that is true, had little puppies and pre-verbal 5-month-olds do it. You can see the depth of this, the brain damage of these people, as opposed to seeing the majesty. You could call this the majesty of God in creation from the Christian view. And what do? I'd rather see witches and demons and accuse innocents of being inherently evil. That's what Christians do. I mean, not all of them, obviously, but Jesus. See, this is why you should become Jesus-ites, Christians. Jesus-ites rather than Christians. Follow the yoke of Jesus and separate yourself from these brain-dead fools. So this is Luke 5:31, where we are told by Jesus who he came for. This is the scene where the high priests are like, why is your guy hanging out with the criminals? So you see sinners and tax collectors? No. This language in the original Greek, which is what this book was written in, these are the criminal. This is the criminal underworld. Why is your teacher eating and getting drunk with the criminal underworld? So Jesus says, I have not come to call the decayos. I have come to call the hamartolos. So amartia, by the way, amartia means fail, fall off the mark. You do it long enough, you become hamartolos. So I did not come for the decayos. I came for the hamartolos. So let's look at what a decayos looks like. This is a decayos. I'm not going to read. You can pause or read yourself. By the way, just down here, this adikon, this is the opposite of decayos. So this means a civilized, well-ordered person. This is a non-civilized, I mean, not uncivilized, but just, basically a person who is not quite hamartolo yet. So if you are decayos, and really all of us, we cycle back and forth from being, adikos, decayos to adikon. You're adikos as well. And it just kind of cycles. You know how it is. I did something wrong. And here, like the dog, right? The dog behaved with that child in an adikon way. And so it felt bad and engaged decayos and apologize. And so the dog and the infant who can't speak English or any other language, they're under the yoke, according to the text. According to the text. So if you are decayos, Jesus did not come for you. You see this? If you are like that dog and baby, Jesus didn't come for you. The decayos is not a scapegoater. Christians are scapegoaters. By their own admission, they are scapegoaters, and they're proud of it. It's stunning. So you can see that scapegoating is actually discussed as a I mean, it's a mental issue, and the Christians embrace this mental issue. They embrace a form of, well, you can say, look at the outcome. Physical violence and scapegoating, an exploration of biblical texts. Scapegoating is a real problem. So these hamartolos, they are scapegoaters. They are scapegoaters. Jesus came to call the scapegoaters to repentance. And what do? They scapegoat him. That's how brain dead they actually are. So we should become Jesusites or blue fairyites. I mean, who cares if they didn't exist, right? How would the world be if we were all under the yoke of Lady Blue? Be brave, truthful, unselfish. Always choose right from wrong, and let your conscience be your guide, baby. So if you were a blue fairyiite, you would be under the yoke. If you are a moral, honest atheist, like that Matt Dilla, whatever his name is, he says, I don't believe anything except this. Be honest and have fun. If you're honest and having fun, you're under the yoke of the Lady Blue, and you're under the yoke of Jesus. So these hamartolo Christians, they reject the yoke. That's why you Christians who are listening to this who think I'm offended. No, you're embracing a religion that is completely foreign from what the beautiful language of Jesus is. So here is who Jesus came for. Jesus came for the hamartolos. Now you can see how it shows up. I said hamartolos is how it shows up in the Greek word study tool. This is the LSJ. This is the lexicon of Greek to English that everyone uses, including Bible scholars. So who are the hamartolos? They have bad character. They're stained by a bad character. Stained. You see the hamart? They're stained. Stained little. This poor kid, stained at a young age. Certain definite vices or crimes. Well, why? Well, we're scapegoaters. So when you're a scapegoater, you can be literally a child rapist, which is the worst. This is like a barbarism. Unfortunately, for these guys who are not remotely like this, they are also hamartolo because they are a stained bad character. Now the thing about this, all the witnessing and all this business, right? So here you have, my video may not get there, but to any of these guys, but you think about this. If they don't repent, you see, they are the opposite. These lizard brain Christians are the opposite of what Jesus said to be. I just don't understand why they can't stop. I think they need to do this, though. I think they need to take the yoke of Jesus even harder and act as if they are brain dead alcoholics. So here we are. Let's do it for which puke face? Yeah, we'll do it for Ruslan. Read this. We just read this and I'm not going to read it loud, just timing here. But if you look at this, we humbly ask. We humbly. Do you think humble people are running around puking out demon stories, making up seeing demons and all the rest? Of course not. So these Christians, now if you're a Jesusite, no worries, right? But if you're a Christian psycho like this guy is, you should come under the yoke of the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous.